Start sleeping at night, get in front of these things, because if you just let it happen to you, it's going to happen to you. Number one mistake, delay. So just the other day I had a client come in, potential client come in, and they told me about an allegation that had been made against them literally 3 to 4 weeks prior to them ever even picking up the phone and calling me. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the number one, if it's not the first, it's got to be the second mistake that folks make, is delaying the start of their defense. Just simply picking up the phone and calling a lawyer, a competent and skilled lawyer that deals with the very issues that you're dealing with and that you have problems with right now, as opposed to waiting. Delay, it's terrible. It allows the forces that be, the forces that are against you, the barbarians that are at your gate, the advantage. The advantage of time, the advantage of the investigation, the advantage of position. Number one mistake, delay. Why do folks decide that they're just not going to pick up the phone and call a lawyer, that they're not going to start their defense when a terrible allegation has been made against them? Whether the police are involved yet or it's DHS, why do they wait? Well, most of the time, and I'll tell you, this is after 22 years on both sides of the aisle, what I hear is, well, that's a ridiculous allegation. No one would ever believe that. Well, as soon as they do any investigation into that story, Lee, they're going to go ahead and not file charges against me. Or they're going to see that this is complete fiction. Lee, there's no evidence. So why would I need to have come in here months ago when I first heard about this? I figured it would just go away because it was so absurd. Or I was scared if I went and spoke with a lawyer, I might actually will it into existence by simply coming and meeting with you. They lose sleep at night. They might even lose their job. They might have their kids taken away from them. All of these, the slow encroachment on their freedom and liberty, all the while law enforcement's working its side. It's conducting its investigation. It's scary when somebody makes a ridiculous allegation against you. But part of it isn't so scary because it's so absurd, it's so ridiculous. Why would it ever actually come into being? I don't need to hire a lawyer, they're expensive, especially for the type of cases that I deal with. So folks, I can understand, have that barrier to picking up the phone. And also just telling somebody that, hey, I'm being accused of this. And we do a ton of sex crime cases here. And when you're having a discussion with someone about a false allegation that's being made against you, even that telling someone about it almost makes it sound like, geez, you really might have done it. What do? You end up talking to other people about it. Violating another one of the rules about not talking to anyone, because again, you don't think this is going to become anything. What we tell folks when they come here, the only thing that you could have done better is you could have come in yesterday. At least you're here. Allow us to start, especially if charges have not been filed against you yet. We've got a lot of different packages, a criminal defense package, advisory services, a watch list, and what we can do is we can change the narrative for you. The story that's being told about you, against you, and the allegations, well, law enforcement are going to believe it because that's what they're trained to do. And no one is out there telling your side of the story. And by the time that police do show up to get your side of the story, well, the die's already been cast. You need to be in front of this. The way you sleep at night, the way you enjoy your life is to get in front of these terrible allegations and to change the narrative and change the story and ultimately change your positioning. It's scary, but let's think about what you can do. Those things that you believe others are going to look at and discount. You're hurting your case by delaying coming and talking to an attorney. I'm not telling you got to come in and you got to drop 5 figures on a defense right out of the gate. Absolutely not. Come in. Let's do one of our initial strategy sessions, okay, where you're going to come in, you're going to unpack everything to us. And we're going to sit down, we're going to talk with you and figure out, okay, do you need a criminal defense package? Do you need us to deploy the private investigators? Do we need to start talking about having a polygraph examination done in secret? What do we need to do now? Do we need to start preserving evidence? Because I'll tell you, law enforcement's not going to. What do we need to do? Well, you don't know what you don't know yet. And if you come in and you talk with us, we'll be able to unpack all this and we'll be able to give you a path to success. A path that improves your defense. A path that's going to help you sleep at night. If you don't leave that meeting that you're going to have with us with a greater sense of purpose and calm and peace and hope and direction, then don't hire us. Pick up the phone, let's set that initial strategy meeting, start sleeping at night, get in front of these things, because if you just let it happen to you, it's going to happen to you. This is Lee. Till the next one.